How does this show even go? I think I vaguely remember.
You have to introduce yourself as Adam, though.
Oh, yeah.
I am Dadam Edwards. I am doing well.
You look like shit for Dadam.
I'm not bitter at all about it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trash Movie.
Jesus. Joey's trying to give all of us COVID.
This time.
Sounds so good. You're going to get me pregnant with COVID.
Johnny Bangs got COVID this week, guys.
Boo. Joey's had COVID for 2 years.
Johnny banged me out with COVID.
I got long bang me
All
out.
right, everybody get out their terrible jokes.
What do you have for me this time? Hacking into the stock market, closing down a bank, fixing an election. It's all easy.
Right on.
What a bunch of trash.
Hello and welcome back to the Trash Movie Kings podcast. I am your host, not your normal host,
Joey
it's
Clam.
Joseph Graham.
Clam.
Joseph Clam.
Wait, Adam's not here this week?
No, Adam's been gone the entire time we've been watching the movie and everything.
But he's not coming.
I mean, I'm sure he is somewhere.
He's
listening and he's coming.
He's coming right now. Anyway, now that everyone's spoken, I'll introduce you. We have Justin Petty on the pod today. How are you, Justin? Drinking water?
Yeah, I'm
Staying
on the
hydrated?
Wawa. That Wawa tonight.
On the Wawa. We have Apocalypse Howl,
Hola.
who speaks Spanish, and
¿Cómo está?
JD Karpicki.
I'm coming in from Lazanga, where they do the conga.
Wow.
It's not.
Doesn't rhyme.
And our very, very special guest, Amy Anderson, all the way from Chicago. How are you, Amy?
Good. Me and Ravioli are pretty tired, though. So let's get cracking.
All right, we were going to flame
second
through.
that.
What, flame through? What is that, Joey?
Flame out. I don't know.
We're
man.
going to strike the engines and go very quickly through.
Getting worse. I'm going to blaze through it.
Blaze through it?
I'm going to get really close to my mic now that I know
It's
it
time
doesn't
to
work.
blast off.
We're going to
doing
blast
the
off
opposite
into
of all of those things are happening right now. The opposite of all of that.
1976's Queen Kong. It is a parody film, parody of the King Kong franchise, series of films. I don't know what you call those. Starring Robin Asquith and Mommy Rula Linsky, directed by Frank Agrama, who was born in 1930 and is still alive.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
These are all real
Wait.
names, everybody.
For real?
This guy's still alive.
Damn.
This movie was sued to shit by two different people at the same time. I guess Dino De Laurentiis, who was probably making cheap Italian versions of a Kong movie at the time, and then also RKO. I don't know if they were working together or not. Probably not, would be my guess. But plot
Is RKO
wise,
responsible for the actual King Kong movies?
The original.
Yeah, they made it.
movie.
Oh, okay.
RK, I don't know what it stands for, but yeah, they're one of those really old movie studios that doesn't exist anymore.
I needed to go get another beer.
Well, you should leave now.
Are you gonna walk there? Or?
We'll see you later.
Okay, hang on.
You should use
Anyway.
an RKO Speedwagon. Cut
There
that.
goes the apocalypse.
No.
Speaking
Goes in
of
trouble.
things that are... Nope, I don't have one.
Or not going to make it on the show.
No, I'm just never going to have a segue. I don't know how to
Speaking
do
of
it.
really great transitions,
Yep.
Speaking of going somewhere you shouldn't.
No, let's... We gotta... Let's ping pong this around a little bit. Oh wait, ping pong. Speaking of ping pong, no, we're not going to do that this time.
No.
Amy has volunteered to do the
Ping
plot.
pong.
Normally, I write it down, and for the past few weeks, I've been writing it down, and we've just been ping ponging the plot. But I'm got lazy this week since I was taking up hosting duties, so I asked Amy to tell us what happened in this thing.
Okay. So here's the situation. This is a gender swap of the King Kong stories. This was made in 1976, right about the time King Kong movie came out with, I don't know, what's your face? Anyway, so we start out in Africa. There's a dude. There's some broads chasing him. We think it's Africa. They're white chicks, but it turns out it is. They chase him through the forest, and then they go and string him up over a big pot, and they're going to cook him like he's Bugs Bunny. But it turns out, psych, that's a movie. They're filming a movie. Oh, my God. Big mommy of the movie says, that's a wrap. Let's go back to England and see if we can find a guy because old pot boy quit. He's a pussy.
Old pot boy.
Anyway, so they get on their teeny tiny boat with like way too many women and they sail back to London. She's chilling in London and she's hanging out in like, I don't know, a flea market kind of area. Yeah. And she sees a guy. He's got sparkly teeth. She's into it. She thinks he's hot. Then turns out he's a schemer and he pulls a scheme so he can steal a poster. And she's like, that's a dude for me. So she takes him for a drink. She spikes she roofies him, puts him on her teeny tiny boat, says, let's go back to Africa. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to film my movie again. That's the last mention of the movie. We never hear about the movie ever again.
She does have a camera at some point.
Okay.
It's a crank camera.
Yeah.
On the way to Africa, three things happen. One of them is that some women of color end up on the boat and they sing a song about Kong while pointing in a direction. And then
their heads also spin.
Their heads spin around, and then they fall into the water, and alligators in the ocean, which is weird.
Oh, no, it's Lady Jaws. That's Lady Jaws.
Oh, it's Lady Jaws.
Oh, yeah, with the bib.
Yeah.
That's right. That makes more sense. There's a shark attack. Turns out it's Lady Jaws, because guess what? Gender swap. Then they go to Lozanga, where they do the conga, and all hell breaks loose. There's all kinds of women in various states of bikini. They're singing songs, they're welcoming people, and they've got capes, all kinds of shit's bananas. There's a commercial for toilet bowl cleaner randomly in the middle of it. Then they put a dude in a birthday cape, they hoist it in the air. You're like, what's that about? And then, booyah, there's a picnic table. There's a big giant chair. It's somebody's big giant birthday. It's Queen Kong. She comes on in. Starts after birthday, but she's like, I don't like this weird mealy faced dude. And she takes Hot Guy. Now she's got Hot Guy from the scheming, and she takes them all back into the jungle. And then they do a lot of looking at each other. And I mean, they look at each other a lot. Okay. And then, Godzilla comes, fucks him up. She doesn't like that shit.
I totally forgot about Godzilla. Wow.
And then later on, a weird pterodactyl that you can only see it from very close. He comes. She doesn't like that shit either. She's not into it. So, they get away, or that's what happens. She saves him from the big giant thing and puts him on the edge of a cliff and goes to give him a kiss. And he delivers the very best line of the entire movie. Stops mid-frame, looks directly in camera, and says,
I've heard of being kissed off, but this is ridiculous.
Oh, that was it.
Would have ended the movie right there. That was perfect. But
It would have been great.
It keeps
back
going.
in the water. He's in water that's waist deep, and then all the broads he came with were like, we'll jump in and save you. And they basically drown him, but they don't. They try to.
Yeah.
They get him back on the teeny tiny boat. They wrap up Queen Kong in chains and shit, strap her to a raft, take her back to London.
It becomes mommy versus mommy here, because we have the redheaded mommy who loves the blonde guy, and then monkey mommy who...
Yeah, it's a mommy off.
Loves
so they go to a very shitty little celebration for this giant gorilla they found, but the queen is there. The queen is there, and like people are barefoot sitting on the ground eating snow cones. It's kind of bullshit.
There's only like 100 people there too. It's like private event,
but Queen Elizabeth has nothing better to do. Also,
we'll come back to her. Yeah,
we'll get back to that. Anyway, so they're there, and they're like, you know what we should do now that we have this gorilla? Let's sing and dance in front of her. Got to do that. We're going to sing and dance, and then let's kiss. And then the hottie too hot scheming guy is like, no. No.
Hottie too hot. I like that.
Yeah.
He's like,
I was calling him third string Malcolm McDowell, but Hottie too hot.
He's like, no, she's crying. You change her up, you're bad. And they don't care about that. And they're like, no, she's crying. She loves me and I love her. And boom. Love triangle decided. So original movie mommy is like, oh, come back with me to my hotel room. And he's like, no, I want to stay with the gorilla I love. But she drags him out of there. Gorilla mommy goes apeshit. She's tearing apart London. She's fucking things up. She finally finds the hotel the little two hotties in, reaches in the hotel room, grabs his ass. They smooch. It's sweet. But she's pissed. She's still pissed. And then everybody's trying to get her. So she reaches in midair, grabs a helicopter. She's swinging that around. He's like, no, stop. And she's like, oh, okay. So.
Oh, my biscuits.
All right, she puts him on the helicopter and he uses the microphone system from the helicopter. And he's like, London, don't kill Queen Kong because of feminism. All the bitches in London are like, you're
Everybody.
right.
Every woman in all of London congregates.
They all come out.
In,
They all come out. They say, stop killing Queen Kong. And then everybody does. And then they sing a song about it. The end.
right there in Piccadilly Circus or some shit. I don't know.
Yep.
Circus. Yep. I bet.
Damn, that was good.
Yeah, that's pretty encompassing. I think you kind of touched on everything.
You told this story better than the movie did.
Yeah. Too many bits. But yeah.
Yeah, pretty interesting film, I would say. I don't know if this is good or bad. It's kind of different from what we do typically because it's outright trying to be funny, and it is often very funny, but it is also very shitty. So it still sort of fits the mold of trash, in my opinion. But
yeah, it's like it doesn't have like brains. It doesn't. I wouldn't say, and I'm not getting to the ratings, but I just mean there's like a good and a bad. Like there's no
self-seriousness to anything with this.
think
Everything
it's
is
like,
on the table.
It's trash because it's like a failure of a spoof that
The only
then
trash
pivots and
element.
tries to become something else.
That's
but
what
at the same time, very expensive in a way, and also very creative in a way.
It's so self-aware that it's very hard to be like faulting it for being shitty, but there's also this other layer where it is also shitty.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Yeah, they think they're really smart, but they ended up making a really shitty movie.
I mean, I'll hit you with the first fast fact, which is both of the main actors, both the lead actors, Old Hottie McToohot and Movie Mommy, were both very glad this movie never got a distributor and are both on the record in places just embarrassed that this movie ever happened.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Rula Linsky is still doing some acting. I saw her last credit was in 2022. Nothing that I knew about.
Oh, I
don't know about third
Rula
string.
Linsky.
Oh, really? I perused her IMDb, but nothing popped out at me.
Well, she was a regular mention on Johnny Carson. He
A
used to
regular
regularly
mention?
make fun of her name. He used to be like, who is Rula Linsky? She's also a Polish countess by birth.
Oh, tight.
And Jane Curtin played her on Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
So she
What-
was
what
like
sketch
famous
was
for
she
being
making fun
herself?
of?
Yeah, she was kind of Paris Hilton-y of the time. I mean, not like young and slutty, but more like famous for being famous. And but
What's
also
it called?
also an actor.
She's like a socialite.
Yeah, she was a socialite.
Socialite.
Yeah, not a
socialite.
Sociopatholite.
Such a socialite.
Sociopath-lite.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Her old face reminds me of some gag in some very funny movie, but like I don't know. I looked like what she looks like now, and I'm like, I think she's in some movie. She may be uncredited, but
There's
she
a
plays
woman
like
named-
some ridiculous kind of old lady in something.
I mean, she's an actor
tip
too.
of my
She's in
tongue.
like East. She's in the EastEnders, which is like a really long-running British soap opera,
Okay.
and a bunch
my,
of stuff. But
My British TV entertainment is limited.
But those were Fast Facts 2, 3, and 4. So
All right on.
that's how fast. I didn't even get a chance to tell you they were Fast Facts. They just came out.
We need a sound effect for fast facts.
I added race cars once upon a time.
You added race cards.
Race cars,
Whoa.
like the sound of race cars passing by.
This movie's already problematic enough, Justin.
Justin's a racist.
Playing the race cars.
This movie. Okay, we've done the plot for anyone who's wondering at home. I thought you said it was a parody.
Okay, speaking of cards, I would go into bingo cards, but we got to do favorite parts first. Does anyone have any favorite parts of this film? Let's keep it to 2, everyone. Amy, go first.
Joey's so organized. I mean, okay. The teeth gleaming. They're like, this is how we show that this man is attractive, and they put a big fake gleaming thing on his teeth, but they don't do it once. They don't do it thrice. They do it like 5 to 87 times.
Oh yeah, they kept looking at each other like 10 times.
Yeah.
The whole scene is pretty fantastic.
It's great. They're like, if there's a rule of 3, then 20 times is gonna be better than 3. Do it more.
Yeah, you got like at least 3
You've seen Monty Python. It's just like that. That's what they were thinking.
You can tell that's what they said to people to invest, and that's why they ended up going so shitty.
It is like the running gag where they're far away, they're far away, they're far away. But it's just 2 zooms, but it's zooming on her face, zooming on his face, but the gleam in his teeth every time. It's pretty good. Yeah, I liked that a lot.
And I really liked, I told you my favorite line in the whole movie, and I stand by that. But the music, man. The music in this movie.
Oh, like the pop music drops?
And we got the Benny Hill numbers. We got the sweet pop drops.
Oh, all of it, you mean, yeah.
I'm really into the Queen theme song.
Oh,
Good as
yeah.
hell.
The intro music? Yeah, that is maybe Breen-worthy, I think. That's probably the only.
Has he ever done a theme song? Does Breen have any theme song?
No, I'm just speaking in terms of the awards ceremony for best title track or best song, perhaps.
One of the lines from the song was, "I want to do it with my hungry monkey," and then it just said Queen Kong a bunch of times.
Yeah, there was
like
some
a surfer
weird
hit.
I mean, you got to do it with your hungry monkey.
Genius.
Yeah, I don't know what they're referencing. It could be
Good
many
line.
things.
It could be a lot of things.
I did like when they referenced the music in the movie, like when they're dancing to the Jaws theme. That's pretty great.
Well, it's nice, but you can't really dance to it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Screaming?
What's it called? I'm not saying I don't like it, though. Maybe if you do
John
something,
Williams
it'll
score,
dance.
kind of.
Yeah, he's,
They're just playing.
he's referencing the music in the
Maybe
actually really funny.
but certainly not a little.
Scream.
Here you have a go.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first. Everything is mine. I'm sorry.
Divinely. Oh, do I?
He's like, oh, it's danceable. Like, is it doing it? People are being attacked by sharks.
But you got to move your hips with it.
They are trying to dance to the Jaws theme at one point. That is,
There's some
that was
airplane
a bad
level.
joke in it.
Somebody guess
Like
that was lawsuit number 2 or 3. And they just
Well, the first lawsuit was him stealing the poster was of the original King Kong, and I think they just used a King Kong poster.
Yeah, this movie has lawsuits up and down. That's probably why it never got released, except
But
for
then
Germany and Italy. Where Italy, they don't give a shit, and Germany is not allowed to have a standing army or whatever.
Fast fact number 5, this movie is super popular in Japan. They've released an accompanying trick like they did with like What's Up Tiger Lily or Rocky Horror, and they talk back to the screen. This movie is really big in Japan.
Oh,
nice.
Makes sense. They like mommies over there.
Come
Okay,
on.
Apocalypse. Any favorite parts?
Yeah, my favorite part was when the movie ended.
Your favorite part is when the movie ended.
Yeah.
Is that why you got up and left 3 times?
I mean, it was a pretty boring movie.
Boring. Interesting
but
choice.
My favorite part. I had it. I had it.
We all keep notes now, and I like that you don't still.
Holy bloody!
I liked when it almost turned into a musical.
Yeah,
several times.
And like they went the whole movie with it just being like a spoof, and then at the end they're like, "Let's break out into song." And that's what it turned into.
What the fuck?
Freezes the treeses.
If you hold me too tight in the jungle.
Wait, all that needed to happen was Mama needed to tell him to stop, and then that was it.
This is literally how Rocky Horror Picture Show ends. Okay, let's go.
They
for
really
it.
didn't follow through with it.
No, it starts off that way too. There's a few moments where they break into
Yeah.
song. I felt like
It's like it was always teasing the musical, and I like that. I like musicals.
I did not know this about you.
I do
I
too.
get it. I've been to like a lot of musicals.
We considered writing a musical. at
My
one
jokes
point,
are
so-
basically music.
to my own ears.
To my own ears.
Should we do a musical?
We should.
We wanted to write Jasquito Christ, which
Jasquito, the Christ Mosquito, is a musical.
Is it stop motion like
we
Pinocchio?
would like to produce when we're retired.
We've already said too much. Cut that. Cut that.
We'll get to
Joey,
that
quit
eventually.
revealing our retirement project.
Yeah.
Is the Last Supper them just all feasting on a dude's arm? Just
Don't worry
sucking
about
blood?
it. Don't worry about that scene.
Cut that.
This blood from
Spoiler alert.
All right, JD. Any favorite parts?
oh boy, I got some.
He's gonna
favorites.
give.
Hold
He's
on,
just
I'm not
gonna
done. I
do
used to
all the
say
favorite
two-
parts.
My second favorite part
parts.
was whenever
No, you already said the end of the movie and the musicals. You're done.
That's two.
You're cashed. Moving on.
Ship has sailed, buddy.
JD, two,
stupid.
please.
Hey, who am I?
Two. Starting with my honorable mentions,
Marilyn
I
Monroe.
have
Me?
Okay. No, I love. Okay,
I'm sorry.
Everyone calm their tits for a second. Let JD tell his favorite parts.
calm your chain
Very
bra
good
tits.
find.
Okay, calm
Chain
them.
bra tits. Wow.
Put a chain bra on your tits and hold on a second. I
So
like.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's why she got all crazy. Oh Jesus. Okay, so I love
I should have packed a lunch for this.
the phone booth scene. The phone booth scene was great.
Yeah, that was fun.
Hello, police. I know this sounds unusual, but some excessive vandalism is occurring around here.
64-foot gorillas destroying? I say, do you mean a gorilla or ape? I mean, if it's that size, it's probably an ape, not a gorilla.
Yes, quite right. I think ape
Quite right.
is definitely more accurate.
Does it have any distinguishing characteristics? You know, warts or anything?
No, nothing.
Oh,
Except it does have rather long toenails.
They are rather long, aren't they?
I just love like British unbotheredness is a really fun thing.
That was quite
me.
British, yes.
And then I mean, okay. My favorite part at the end, the whole movie is saved by the constable's mama. And he has this like black and white picture and it says mama on it. And it's this woman that just looks like she's been dead for centuries or something. Like it looks like it doesn't belong.
I
But
really think it's just him wearing drag.
no, that's her. No, because she showed up at the end.
I
And
don't
she
think that was
said,
the same person.
yes, it was. She had the hat and everything. And he goes, mama. And she goes, you get that ape off of that thing and back to Africa right
Yeah.
now. And then they
JD
start singing.
JD was actually watching the movie, so let's go ahead and.
It's magical. It's magical. And yeah, just took all the women in Britain and mama to break that up. And I thought that was lovely.
That's great.
Yeah.
Justin, any favorite parts?
Yes, it was during the Queen Kong birthday party when we got
The weird guy in the stripper cake?
the big yeah, we got the big sexy cake, and you think it's gonna be the stripper. Obviously, that's where they're going with it, and it reveals this rotting old homeless man who might be dead. He's just staring vacantly into nothing for
He's
about
not
3
happy.
seconds, and then we never see him again. You cut to another shot, and he's gone.
No, he's back a couple times, but he never speaks or anything.
We see him
Oh, he
again.
does come back.
We
He's
see
this
him
kid.
briefly.
But
He's
100
definitely
million
this
years.
kid.
Yeah, but
90 years old.
he's like Ace Ventura in his 80s or something. Yes.
Yeah.
He comes back one time and he's still unhappy, but on the third shot of him, he's happy, and it's more horrifying.
Why is it though? It's because is the main character getting attacked in that moment? Something's
I think so.
happening, and he's like, oh, yeah.
Wait,
like,
who's
I
the
love
main
it.
character in this movie?
The skinny McToo-Hot.
Is this game too
I
hot or is it
guess.
the chick?
Or
Yeah.
yeah, it's between him and mommy, redhead mommy.
Yeah, the movie
It's up to
mommy
him.
and the skinny too hot.
Okay.
Yeah. Or Queen Kong herself. I don't know.
Yeah, she just doesn't have any spoken lines.
Yeah. So my favorite parts, I think you guys touched on most of them, but I will add the plant that
No one really
likes.
asked you.
All right, how are you doing, Joey?
No one
How
asked.
are you doing?
I'm getting. That's what
Okay,
we
cut
do to
all
Adam.
of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Go ahead.
say the plant that likes pussy.
Very, very.
Do we know
progressive.
for sure that it's a woman?
Oh,
Oh, a big rose bush. Oh, it's definitely a blade. Okay.
yep.
We're gonna see a tit.
That's tit pinching bush.
No.
Ooh, he wants that butt.
With the rose was a rose. Crunch the camellias and beware the begonias.
Is that a saying?
That was awful and great. I like, yeah. And then maybe we already kind of touched on it, but the spinning heads on the Chiquita banana dancers was pretty great.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess also the visor.
Well, that's what I
woman?
mean. Like we have a whole other like it's not bees. It's like all of the weird kitschy shit that they had in the movie.
A lot of
It's so
British
funny.
weirdness to this movie.
A whole lot of visors. A lot of people, a lot of women wearing visors.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the sombrero. That was the best.
Was
She
that-
had like a cowboy hat hair. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, she's
Couldn't
got, her
tell.
hair is like
A whole other character.
into yeah.
It's a visor, and then it's like a Mario hat from the.
Her
Odyssey
hair
or
is
whatever.
her hair is included in her hairdo, and the hats are one thing.
Mhm.
in
You
this
don't know when
movie.
one starts and the other stops.
She takes off her hat at one point in the movie, and you're like, "Whoa!" It's
Yeah.
a little shocking.
Her head doesn't
But
fall
otherwise,
off.
yeah. She's like the mommy from Return to Oz.
Wow.
Deep cut, but I liked it.
You know what I'm talking about? What is that?
Oh, I
one?
know.
Yeah. No, it's true.
She has a cool name in that
Bulk.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fruza Bulk. Yeah,
she's what's the mommy with the different heads in that movie? I can't remember her name. She has a cool name, I think. But
She's like a witch, right?
yeah,
With all the different heads.
with all the different heads. She's a great lady.
Yeah.
Speaking of great ladies,
Lady Jaws.
we played bingo
Lady
tonight.
Jaws. Oh my god, Lady Jaws was so funny.
Well, you missed when we
Miss-
talked about it while you were getting a beer for 20 minutes. Anyway, we for the bees. I'll have to add my own special effect there later. We played bingo tonight. I was the first to bingo. I'm going to read off just my bingo.
And the second.
I had boats.
What?
I had boxes.
How? When did you have boxes?
They have
first
the
scene.
boxes when
Those
they're
were
loading stuff
great.
onto the boats.
No,
are
you were
great.
trying to count a barrel as. Oh no, never mind. Never
No,
mind.
those
You're
are
They
right,
got the
you're right.
boxes on the
Fuck y'all.
sticks. They're all labeled etc.
Lame.
Green space, also lame. Bikini, which we got eventually, a full bikini, and blades, which we got one of
Yeah.
at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Many others. Second to bingo was JD Karpicki. Would you like to just express your bingo card, not your entire card?
So much candy.
My bingo. Okay, here we go. It was when we got blasts. So that was when they started throwing. They found bombs that were labeled bombs. of
Bombs.
course.
It was
That's how
Mario
they did it.
Brothers.
Yeah, and they started throwing. So blasts, boxes. We had a Buttafuoco, I think.
Did we?
I mean, he had a mustache. It was that guy.
That was the Mario. He went.
I
Mario
don't think
brother.
we ever decided that there was a Buttafuoco. I never felt there was a Buttafuoco.
Maybe I don't have it then. Boobs, blades, breen, booze, and an honorary B. Yeah, we had helicopter, so I had that.
Yeah, I had that too.
No butts, right? Butts didn't count.
Boobs, blades, breen, booze, and honorary B.
Nice.
Me and JD got the same bingo at the same time.
Yeah.
I just don't have bingo.
Birthday's a B too. Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to everything you guys said. I also had bushes, which was new to the bingo card, which when you add an ES to the end of bush becomes just shrubbery.
Which luckily we had.
Yeah,
we had lots of shrubbery.
Boss bitch, yeah, I mean they're in the fucking jungle most of the movie. Booze, boss bitch, bamboo, which was interesting, but wasn't included on this.
I can't believe I put bamboo on here.
Me neither, because we've never had bamboo before, like as a typical thing in these movies, but you just went ahead and added it, and I support you fully.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to bingo, and then on my card it says Lady Jaws, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Did you watch this movie before? I didn't even tell you guys that we were watching this.
My third favorite part of the movie was whenever he...
Oh, he's going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
He reached through the window and he was like basically about to get R'd by that woman.
Yeah.
And instead he like ducks away and he's like, I'll crawl into this giant hand, and then it pulls him out of the
he almost closed the finger like a door.
Queen Kong puts him on the helicopter.
I like that you said "ard," given some of the things that you have said tonight.
That's for YouTube. We get kicked off of that.
Rittenhouse.
These are the R's. The R's.
Okay, and then we also have Bad Boys. I don't think anything else is really pertinent. Did anybody have any additional B's that they like to add to the pile?
Not on my card, but
I will give you 3.
What?
3.
There's
additional
no
B's.
limit. I got Benny Hill music.
I had a boss bitch.
We had a boa.
Boss bitch. We had boas. Yes.
We had are we going to talk about the blatant racism?
No, that's racism with an adjective.
No, are we talking about Mike or are we talking about the movie?
No.
What about
who's Mike?
I had this mic, the one that doesn't work. Okay.
The microphone.
That's what it sounds like when it works.
I don't know who.
I had bib, Lady Jaws. Lady Jaws was wearing a bib. Boxes that said etc. on them. That was really funny.
That was actually one of the bingo winners.
We've already touched on that.
Oh, nice. I'm
going to cut you off there.
There's a bazaar for sure.
I'm going to cut you off there.
We got a Big Ben, Beehives, Brits, Benny Hill drops. You got in a fun. This movie reverses gender roles, and for a fun honorary B, we had a mom in a photo frame rather than a dad.
That's good. Yeah, cool.
I supported, and that sort of counts as an honorary in my opinion.
Wait, do we do the dads in frames as honorary Bs? Like a frame picture
I think that's an honorary thing.
Something to look for sure.
So we had a mom in an honorary frame for the weird faux German British.
Did you general, say Bobby, like a cop, like the cop? Because they had a couple of those.
Did we? No. Interesting.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Bobby's.
This is a very British movie.
I mean, we don't watch a lot of British movies here, but you know. All right, moving on to the ratings.
I thought you were just gonna say moving on and finish. And we're done.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's start with Amy.
Oh, this is tough because honestly, I loved it. I loved it. I think this movie's funny. Would watch, but on a trash scale. So, like on a movie scale, I would still give it a 5 because it's great. But it's also a really bad movie. So, like, not. But it's also not a great example of I don't feel like it's trashy enough to be good trash, but it's not good enough to be real good. I'd give it a 4, and that's just because of the line, I've heard the kiss off, but this is ridiculous. That's all.
Yeah, it has some really dumb shit, but it's also confusing kind of trash. JD, what do you think?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm wondering how many of y'all would put this on to show someone else? Like, that's what I'm wondering about. Like,
Yeah.
Like Roar, definitely. I'd be like, oh, y'all got to see this. Or even Biohazard or the melty one. That's what I'm kind of struggling with. Is that it's not like really they're winking.
It's not must see trash, but it's it's a fun time.
I'm gonna say
it's confusing.
I'm going 3.5 on this one. I was almost at a 4, but I want to put it back at 3 because it keeps like straddling that line, and then the 0.5 is the Lady Jaws' fin.
Yeah, I'm gonna break the mold here, and I'm gonna jump in and also give it a 3.5 for the same reasoning. Is I think it's really good and interesting, but at the same time, I don't want to show anybody. Like,
Did you say you're going to break the mold and then do exactly what he did?
I'm going to break the mold by the host doing this in the middle of things.
Adam doesn't cut me off enough in these shows. I think that's what he's saying.
Say what you want to say.
No, it's really funny, and I think it's like worth throwing on at some points, but I don't know when to throw this on.
Right.
I know, like I would never pick to show this to people unless they were like, do you have anything British that's funny?
Right.
This might be the go-to. If somebody's like, do you know of any British trash? I'm like, oh, you gotta watch this dumb shit.
Because they're trying really hard to be Airplane. They're trying really hard. And then so the whole time I was watching it, I was like, this is really dumb. Wait, that was actually funny. Oh no, okay. It's
yeah,
dumb
that's
again.
the thing too. It's like it's very funny. At least for I felt like it was very funny for 3/4 of it. The back half, I felt like it gets a little.
Yeah.
The stuff with all the where they're parroting the King Kong like coming to the city and destroying shit is like they get a little too.
It goes on too long.
Yeah, it goes on for a little long. They like get a little too interested in like redoing it to some degree, and and they're forgetting to make jokes. So I'm like, yeah, I get it, but you're just doing it like with shittier Godzilla kind of effects and whatnot. So.
I wouldn't show this movie to anyone born after 1987.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Mixed company. Anyway, moving on. Justin, what do you think?
I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
1.5.
He hated it.
I've been low lately, man.
I did not like this movie at all.
Interesting.
I liked watching this movie with y'all. I had fun watching it with y'all, but I did not enjoy the movie.
You always
Justin was
say
born
that.
in 87.
No, I don't always
there you
say
go.
it. I say that when I mean it. I was born in 85, yo.
Oh shit. 1.5, you say, huh?
Yeah, I just like. I think I said it earlier, like it was a spoof for the first 2 acts. And then, they, like you said, they got really into trying to recreate King Kong at the end. And then after that bit, they tried to turn it into like a political movie. And they didn't, not only did they not stick the landing with that because of everything that preceded it, they also didn't come back to the spoof bit. So it just felt like 3 different, like, undisconnected movies. Like it was just, I don't know. I didn't like it, and I see why the actors also didn't like it.
That's what. May I expand on that? Because I'm noticing.
No, you can't. You cannot.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Please expand.
May I?
We've got time.
Over here.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So I noticed at the end I thought it was really progressive because he's like, it doesn't matter. He's like big women, little women, ugly women, pretty women. Like he's saying, like, don't we all just want to fuck? Like, let's just get together. It's like any woman is desirable.
Fuck monkeys.
That's what he was saying. Yeah, that's what he's saying. So like,
he's just saying, I just want to fuck a lot of women. Come fuck me.
But then in the first act, they have these 3 women of color. They're all from different countries, and obviously, and they're all dressed like they're from Hawaii, which is weird. And and they're just saying like Kong and in this weird. They have this.
Oh yeah, the Ooga
they
Booga
refer
scene.
to foreign people like in this very bad light, and the Oonga Boonga back and forth. That was really weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're trying to be like progressive in one way, and then they're like, oh, look how racist we are. Like it's a weird balance.
Yeah. Those jokes are really, really cheap and bad.
Mm-hmm. They had a lot of fun making those jokes too.
I forgot that
really
the
did.
spinning head Chiquita
Cancel.
banana dancers then just fall into the water and get eaten by sharks immediately. That is a great sequence, actually.
They didn't fall it. They dove into the water. Like
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff like that. That's why
they were acting like they were on a party boat.
Yeah, I had a good time with this. Apocalypse, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 3.
3, interesting.
Yeah, because I agree with Justin, and I didn't really like the movie, but I also agree with everybody else. I just think y'all rated it too high. I feel like Justin was coming in low, so I'm just gonna take the median here, and I'm just gonna go 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's, if I'm judging it on a trash movie basis, it's probably a 3. If I'm judging it based on being a spoof, what year was it made?
76.
Yeah, a spoof in the 70s or post mid or late mid, whatever you'd say.
Over the hill 70s, yeah.
Mid 70s.
In Britain, I'd say it probably, I can't for the life of me ever know what it was like to be a Brit in that
in
year.
the 70s.
Yeah, well, in the late 70s, in the mid to late 70s, I can't imagine what their culture was like. I don't know. So I just have to imagine that this was hitting the zeitgeist there at the right angle, and it probably was a 5.
But it wasn't released or something, right?
It was only
probably
released in
there
Italy
was-
and Germany, so I think it might have missed the zeitgeist.
Okay, well, it was probably,
But no, that's
But
a
I
good
see
point.
what you're
Pertinent.
saying, that it
Then
it's going for
for
something
them.
that seems like a popular style at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be to them. It could be like our scary movie. I don't know. Well, what is that one comment about the Ronald Reagan Film Festival?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's pretty
yeah.
funny.
Queen Kong
It's
like knocks it
I
over.
can
like,
imagine there were things that hit for that
Mhm.
direct audience that we're never going to see or understand. So it might have been a 4.5 or a 5 for them back in the day. So I mean, maybe on a spoof level it's higher, but if we're here, we are not here for spoof level.
Yeah.
We're here for trash bags. We want to know how many trash bags it gets. And I can't justify giving it more than 3, and that's pushing it.
Wow, I
Well,
don't know
thank
whether
you for
to
that.
raise my rating or lower it.
I'm gonna keep it about the same.
Yeah. Well, no, because he's making the point you make. It plays a lot more now that I think about it, like a Austin Powers movie. Like,
Yeah.
and that's very much drawing on these comedies of the 70s and the 60s. So like,
Let's think about how much further back.
Yeah,
I
baby.
guess
well,
Austin Powers
it's
is
a light
making
parody, you know?
Isn't what 96 the first one came out, and
Something like
it's
that.
kind
yeah.
of pulling
97.
from 70s stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll say 30 years. So when this movie came out in 76, it's making fun of movies from the 20s. So is that
Really?
I don't
so
know. Well,
it's
that's
a
when
50
Kong
year
came out. But yeah.
difference, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're also making a lot of topical references, though. So I don't
Yeah. Plus, they kept making King Kong movies, and they endlessly seemingly.
King Kong had just recently been remade.
Well, I think that was 1980 with Jessica Lange, wasn't it?
Was it? I thought it was in the 70s.
I'm pretty sure it's right on 80, and then there might be another one in the 70s too.
I mean,
Yeah,
they never
76.
Yeah.
76.
I assume. I'm gonna assume that Godzilla became popular, and then they kind of brought back King Kong around this era.
Didn't King Kong fight Godzilla right about this time?
Yeah, it became like more of like, the Japan has this popular thing and they're making money, so we should have our giant dumb thing. Oh, we have this thing already. Let's just keep doing this and make money.
I mean, they probably got sued into oblivion because there was a big major motion picture of King Kong coming out.
Right, exactly. And there were probably multiple.
Yeah.
I mean,
but, JD, I really liked when I couldn't remember Jessica Lange's name that you knew who I was talking about.
Is it wrong to love Lang? For all you I Heart Huckabees fans out there. Shout out to Holy Bloody Shit from Hitler to Cab.
Bloody shit.
That was great.
Shout out to Weird Magic Beat Sticks from Mommies.
Shout out to Kong Gong.
Oh, yeah, that's
Kong Gong. That was a good one.
Was,
You mentioned it before, but the random toilet cleaner.
Oh, the contraceptive jokes that I liked that nobody else did.
I didn't quite get those because I'm not a woman.
I just didn't think they're funny. I got them.
But that's the brilliance, is that it doesn't entirely make sense, but they're walking really far to be like, these women don't know what the pill is. Like, that's all they wanted to say.
Yeah.
But they had a big wicker basket and taped up some computer paper that said contraceptives and marker on the front. And I just liked that. I thought that was really funny.
There's a priest who punches a woman on the plane. Yeah. Boy cake?
Oh, I forgot about the nun on the plane. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fiona Apple.
What is that?
Fiona Apple, too.
Nice flyer.
I have one of those, I think. I picked it up in Chicago. No big deal.
Who wants to play cards? Oh, no? You're not in the mood?
I just want to play card.
We can just pair it up.
So for those in the audio podcast, Apocalypse How just ate a piece of card.
Oh, no, it folded itself back over.
And then, he ate a piece of it and then put it back on the card.
And then he spit it back
together.
And that concludes our episode. Wow.
Perfectly creased. Spit it into a crease. A beautiful curvy crease.
Thank you for joining us on the Trash Movie Kings podcast. If you don't already,
new host.
Follow us on Spotify and Apple and YouTube, or send us an email, request a movie. I don't give a shit. Have a good one. We'll be back with more APE-ril next week.
Yeah.
I think since we're 2 weeks into April already, we may only do 2 APE-rils.
I mean,
that wouldn't be an ape, would it?
Yes, it would.
We don't know yet.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's an interdimensional being.
I've got the perfect one. I've got the perfect one.
Well, you'll have to send us an email. Just
Trash Movie Kings.
like everyone else
Gmail.com.
at trashmoviekings@gmail.com. Or you can just text me. It's whatever.
I missed Adam's show. He's hard.
Yeah, I know. Trash Movie Kings. Fuck you. See you next week.
These two teachers
See you
are pretty
next
harsh.
time. Bye.
Joey's a tyrant. Don't vote for him for dog catcher.